All right, there we go. Sound of the shotgun to start us. I just said Red Dead in the background, just in case I want to play it for a while. See, hello, Megaleech, Micro, USB, nobody. All popped in early with comments. Cheers, y'all. My clarified cocktail. That's good. And hello, Nitty. Poor Marco, tied AF. Up very early. What is Red Dead doing making weird noises? All right. Where'd they go? Shouldn't be getting up this early for work. Oh, my God. Well, hopefully it's worth your while. What do we got now? Okay. So how's everyone's weekend going? Had good fun last night with Nettie and Nobody and Abigail all here. Nettie and Nobody retired for the evening, and Abigail and I kept going, just having a lot of fun on the stream. So that was a good time. Hopefully, we have a good time tonight. So we'll see how that goes. Marco saw video guys playing golf. Coconut crab. Okay, that's pretty rare. Coconut crabs aren't very common in Australia. That would have to be in North Queensland or something. It's more up in the islands where you get the coconut crabs, which are a weird friggin' huge things and apparently not even edible, which is no good. And yes, I can understand that, Nobody. Anytime you're with Nettie, good time. Also, Micro, 8 p.m. our time, 6 a.m. your time. God damn. I was just going to show you all something. I'm not going to play much of the game because I want to chat, but the game's taken a weird turn. And the game has taken a weird turn. And you see, we're actually on a tropical island now. We tried to escape the city where a bank heist went wrong. And a couple of gang members got killed. But then our boat hit a storm and wrecked. And we've ended up on this island off Cuba where there's an insurrection happening. And so it's a very different setting. I've been examining the wildlife. And by examining it, I mean shooting it. Found 2 unique bits of fauna. I'm still in the camp. I can't take my gun out. Okay. 2 unique bits of fauna, a lizard, a big iguana, and a macaw. And Arthur's form of nature study is to shoot things. So you can see it's all very tropical and we're against the elements. Ooh, look. Sorry. Just going to go over here for the view and then go back to the chat. Yeah. Look at the view. It's nice. Anyway, that's enough of that. Just wanted to show you that we're in a very different things. It's just, Margaret, I love that. Okay. I'm not at all sure. I thought I'd read that they're not edible. Theory that Amelia Earhart was eaten by coconut crabs. Oh, there's all sorts of things will eat you in the tropics. All right, so you're normally up at 5 a.m. for work. If I could stay up for angry. Okay, well, that's nice. Wild and wacky times. It's always when a North American joins the stream, it's like, are you an insomniac or an early riser? Because sometimes it's someone who's been up all night and is yet to sleep. And sometimes it's someone who is getting up early because it's an inhospitable time difference, pretty much. But what are you going to do? If only the flat earthers were right and it was the same time everywhere. But yeah, it's just the way it is, really. Just enjoying my clarified cocktail. Very rummy. And it's very sweet, actually. But that's okay. I like sweet. Sweet is fine. And let's see what else is. I don't have my new book. Well, this is a newish book. It's a Christmas book. But I actually got a birthday book. Another high-end cocktail book. Very different looking to this one. Just like open up on a page. Where are we at? Tequila drinks. Espadin Queen. Absinthe. Mezcal. Saint-Germain. Grapefruit juice. Lime juice. Don's mix. Cane sugar syrup. Tequila and port and lime juice and ginger syrup. You know what? I might make that, and instead of make it a highball. Instead of ginger syrup, add it with ginger beer. Yeah, I actually think I'm going to make that. So, Marco, I love being up early, but hate waking up early. What is all? Yeah, sometimes it can feel good to wake up early because, I don't know, you started the day, you see things and whatnot. But the whole not being asleep, it can be less than completely agreeable. What are you going to do? Old Australian saying, trickier than trying to mow down a herd of emus with a machine gun mounted on a truck, which, as the Great Emu War tells us, actually quite difficult. Emus are very fast and move, and if they're riding the army truck over rough ground, it's very hard to aim accurately. One of the less glorious moments in Australian military history, army sent off to kill a bunch of emus and failing pretty badly. I love after the less than stellar performance in the little escapade of the Emu War, and the army went, right, fuck this, I'm going home. And because as the West Australian government thought that, these emus were destroying crops and they should be killed, and then it happened again next season, and they sort of said to the government, can we have soldiers again? And they went like, no, fuck off, we hate you. Hey, Lee. Micro emus make the wiggle song in your head. There you go. I know. What's that? Nobody being awake early. It was wasted. Team viewer wouldn't let you in church computer, so you could have stayed last night. Well. You were doing the right thing. You were doing the responsible and noble thing. Didn't quite work out. Shit happens, as the saying goes. Man, that's almost syrupy, that drink. It's so sweet. I suppose it's got, what did I put in it? I did put a little bit of sugar syrup in it, not a lot. It's got orange juice, and there's some liqueurs in there. It's a cherry brandy, rum, bunch of rum in there. And yeah, it's pretty good all up. You're going to want to make it clarified Pina Colada. It's probably my favorite of all the milk clarified cocktails I've done. Pina Colada filtered through curdled coconut milk is yummy. Is really clear like this, and has all the pineapple and cuckoo nut flavors and the rummy flavors. It's quite a treat. Oh yeah, no, that's a technical term, Micro. A bunch of rum. It's a technical description. Lee. Oh, nice. Yeah. It is, of course, the vast majority of us who get COVID maybe are a bit blur for a while, but then come through. Yes. Something. Oh, okay. What phone were you talking about? They got the live stream running, bum sandwich. Well, I had a good time while you were here, and I don't begrudge you trying to do the right thing. Who's in my mouth fun? No, well, the only mouth things was going on between Nettie and Nobody, so they weren't going to be surprised by anything on that front. It was very funny late in the stream. Someone came on who's not a regular, and Abigail and I were still going. And this person goes, "Are you a couple?" And Abigail's like, "Ew, no, ew, no." Say la vie, I guess. But you know, I worked out. I don't know if anyone was paying attention last night. I mentioned we had pizza dramas. A couple of hours before the stream, decided to get pizzas that we shared for dinner, and it took a really long time. Like it took about an hour to get a pizza, and I half heard what it was causing this pizza place to be overwhelmed, and then I looked online and said, "Yeah, last night was the last night of Passover," and I live in a very Jewish area in town, and apparently, to celebrate the end of Passover, a lot of local Jewish people like to order pizzas. So the pizza shop was swamped, and it was taking an hour and a half to fill orders. I got in just before they got totally overwhelmed, but it still took a stupidly long time. If I'd have known that was going to happen, I would have done something else for dinner. But you live and you learn. So Mike are going to record Nettie and Nobody smooching and sell the videos for profit, use the profits to visit. Well, that's a plan. Like a man with a plan. All right. Do cinnamon girl. Tequila, Smith & Cross, lime juice, cinnamon bark syrup, cane sugar syrup, orange bitters. I think I've made a version. Okay, I'm going to save this. Here's the one. Strawberry, tequila, yellow chartreuse. Ooh, this is a simple one. Tequila, pineapple juice, lime juice, cinnamon syrup. But which was the one I was going to do that has the ginger, a dull green? I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to look at rum juice. Lee, you're doing a presentation on toxic masculinity of other students. Interesting. Marco's just going to keep enough profits for a flight and then share the rest. Well, that's very magnanimous of you. Where's the rum drinks? Where's the rum? Whiskey drinks. I do like whiskey drinks. A Wicked Kiss. I love the names they come up with for cocktails. Wicked Kiss, rye whiskey, apple brandy, yellow chartreuse. Oh, holy cow. No, I'm making that. That sounds... Okay. I am making that. That sounds good. A Wicked Kiss. Almost on topic with what you're talking about. All right. And this is going to give me an excuse to do garnishes as well. So I need apple brandy, rye, my chartreuse substitute, and Benedictine. All right. Yes, Micro, yes. You're getting the clickbait happening. Couple in forbidden relationship. Okay. So, rye whiskey. Which rye whiskey will we get? God, I moved them all over here. Is this it? Whiskey gone rye? All right. This is a really robust rye whiskey from Archie Rose. Apple brandy. An Australian apple brandy. Ochre Gold, my yellow chartreuse substitute. A Trembling Bell, rye whiskey, Irish whiskey, Coca Americano, peach liqueur. Wow, there you go. Benedictine. I knew there was something else. Got to get Benedictine. All right. Wo ist meine Benedictine? There it is. Benedictine. Running a little bit low. Don't have to get more Benedictine in a while. And I need my jigger. Got a peeler. There's my orange. Okay, what sort of fuckery's been happening here? Fucking pisses me off. Okay, yeah, no, I fucking got the shits now. Skewer. All right. Do you want to go out, Mimsy? Mimsy's down there staring at the door. Just go out. No, it's enough room for you to get out. Jigger. Where my jigger's at? Okay. It's in here. All right. Mimsy's just over there being very weird. All right, nobody and Nettie. Catcher. Oh, God. Heine with cat puns. Let me out. All right, a Wicked Kiss. Just 1 ounce of rye, 1 ounce of apple brandy, 1/4 ounce of the other two. Okay. This is a very experimental drink for me. If I like it, I might do it for my cocktail channel. We're exploring things tonight. Now, 1/4 ounce of both of these. So, what time did I wake up this morning? 9-ish. I think it was. I got out of bed at about 9. I was awake a bit before that. Got a bit out of bed about 9. It's good. It was Mrs. Angry made pancakes this morning. which Abigail very much appreciated. She slept on the lounge last night, and she got to have Mrs. Angry's special pancakes for breakfast. Right, and I'm also supposed to do Angostura bitters. Where did I put them? Where did I? Oh, there they are. Big bottle of Angostura bitters. Okay. Here we go. What's on at the MCG? Some sports ball, I assume. All right. Just double check. Is that everything? No garnish. Well, that's what you say. I'm doing a garnish because I love just putting an orange peel garnish on my drinks. Okay. Do a bit of orange peel first. Actually, a decent swath of peel. I often mess up the peeling bit. And put the orange peel in the drink. Let's see, do we pour it over ice? Stir all ingredients over ice. Strain into a coupe. Okay, so I'm definitely not doing this right. I'm doing it my way. Marco, if you feel there, what part you're landing to aim at? Well, if you're coming here, it's Melbourne. Not sure if you get direct. You probably get direct flights from the US to Melbourne. A lot of them come through Sydney, and then you have to get a domestic flight from Sydney to Melbourne. A little bit of clinking ice ASMR. Classic cocktail ASMR. I do like the sound of clinking ice, actually. Robot Alien, hello. You came back from counselling, inpatient treatment payment, insurance decided to stop paying for it. Well, it sucks if you've come back not because it's complete, but because insurance was not paying for it. That's a less than optimal outcome. All right. New drink for me. The Wicked Kiss. Yeah, it's not bad. It's a whiskey cocktail. It's like a complex old fashioned. The sweetness is coming from the liqueurs, the Benedictine and the Ocar Gold, and they're very herbal liqueurs as well. So you're getting herby elements, and also the apple brandy is lightening the whiskey taste and sweetening it a bit as well. This is a very robust whiskey, very strong taste. Robot Alien, I get anyone with health issues is going to have stresses in the United States. You have stresses here, but nothing like, the ridiculous number of people who go into bankruptcy every year in the US because of medical reasons. Yes, Micro, I know there is a Melbourne, Florida. Well, I think they're both named after some lord from England. There was a Lord Melbourne. I think that's where the name comes from. We even did that as a joke years ago when we were having the first big YouTube meetup in Australia, inviting some overseas YouTubers to come here. And there was a guy from Florida who used to go to all the meetups. His YouTube channel was called The Mighty Thor. And he was a fun guy. And he was not far from Melbourne, Florida. So we did this like joke video where he went to Melbourne, Florida and looked for us and couldn't find us. Safa, did I have a cold throat? Do you mean a sore throat? Kind of, sort of, not really. I had congestion, not really a sore throat. I had a scratchy cough the first day, which is why even before I got the positive test, I was pretty sure I had COVID because I was like, yeah, this doesn't feel right. Didn't really have a sore throat. I had congestion. 1 or 2 days, I had a mild fever. And I was very tired. Oh, Christ. Micro just looked at the cost of a flight from the US to Australia. Yes, it's a very, very, very long flight. It costs thousands of dollars. I don't even know what prices they are now. They're probably quite expensive. It's like a cheap one a couple of years ago was like 1500. Oh, yeah, Micro, you want to join? Yeah, okay. Why not? If anyone wants to join, we can hang and we can talk. That's the link. Yeah, that's not bad. It's like as I was saying, it's like a slightly complex old-fashioned. It's not bad. It's not legendary. I'm giving it about a 7.5. Not going to rush to make it again with all the drinks there are in the world, but yeah, I like it. It's interesting. Sorry, where am I? Get my mouse to work. Micro. Wait, you're. It's all dark where you are, Micro. Oh, there you are.
I fixed it. I have a privacy screen on my webcam because I don't trust that.
No, that's a good idea.
I have to share this with you real quick because this shocked me. I know flights are expensive. So you said, I think you just said a cheap flight not that long ago was like $1,500.
Yeah.
All right. I just went on United. I just searched one airline. So it's from one airline. Yeah. If I wanted to leave Monday, May 16th, round trip, I would only have to pay them $10,753 for a round trip economy ticket.
Shite.
And then if I wait until May 19th, I could get it for $3,062 round trip. But that's still way too much money for a round trip ticket to anywhere, really.
That's insane.
I would expect $3,000 round trip ticket if I was going to take like first class or something, or $11,000 for first class, right? Like economy. Now I'm curious, like if I change the search from economy to first class, I'm wondering what we'll get for cost.
Okay, I decided to look at someone else like Air New Zealand. The flights economy are from $1,800 to $2,500, and that's Australian, so that's only $1,500 US. So okay, Air New Zealand. Again, unless you want to do it like really soon, probably that's why that one was so expensive. But Air New Zealand flights were kind of on par with what they were before. They're not super cheap, but they're not super expensive. $1,800 to $2,500 return, and that's Australian dollars. And there are cheaper airlines than Air New Zealand. Air New Zealand's actually a pretty nice one to fly on.
So I'm looking up the same exact flight, but I changed it to business/first class seating.
Yeah.
And search. We'll see what it says. That's great. $11,000 for a flight. I could buy so many used cars for $11,000.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like three or four of them, easy.
Yeah. That's well. Again, I guess people who fly business and first class either have so much money they don't care, or it's a tax write-off for them anyway, and so they don't care what it costs because it's a tax dodge. But wowzers, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, way more than I thought. I'm like, for $11,000, do I want to fly to Australia or completely change my life here in the States?
Yeah, you gotta make choice. I mean, it's one of the things. Like if I fly, I've only ever flown economy internationally, and I'm going to try and sleep for as long as possible because this just sucks being on this thing for a whole day. So I try and sleep. Man, if I was in business or first, I'd be on so much caffeine because it's like, this is so much money. I'm going to be awake for every second of it. And I want every convenience and every bonus they have.
Yeah, if I could afford first class, I would definitely. So I would soak it up. I would.
Yeah.
I would milk it. That's what I'm looking for. All right. So
absolutely. Yeah.
You can get business fully refundable for $24,000. They have no first class.
Okay.
So
I've seen videos on YouTube. One was like a guy who did a lot of travel stuff, so he had just a stupid amount of frequent flyer miles, and he found out like on one of the upmarket airlines, like it's like one of the Middle East airlines, he could get an upgrade. I think they called it Emperor class. It's secret first class. It's beyond first class. Like they don't even advertise it. And
it's like secret rich person class, right? That's what it is.
Only in those really big planes that have a whole different level higher up in the plane. These people don't have seats. They have a little apartment on the plane. They have
I've seen videos.
An apartment. That's wild.
It's insane. And then meanwhile, they're trying to figure out the best way to fit us in a plane like sardines so they can get the most money out per flight.
Oh my God.
They're like, let's make them squat or stand or whatever.
Yeah, there was someone promoting this stuff at some convention for the airline industry, promoting the idea of this ultra economy thing. It was these weird vertical seats that you were kind of leaning, so you were virtually standing the whole time.
Yeah, it was like half-ass standing. That's how I picture it. And then, if I remember correctly, there was another one where there was a person sitting there, and there was be a person above you.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah, no. I just want to, when the revolution comes, people who propose those ideas up against the wall. They're just that's evil. That's just evil saying, hey,
that's like the CEO of Nestle. He's another one that we need to grab.
Oh, the water thing.
Yeah, the water thing. It bothers me so much. Yeah, and he does it in a state that is known to have water issues.
Yeah.
So it's like extra evil.
Oh, I think Robot Alien Assassin wants to say hello. Is that right? I can't see or hear you.
Soon, pitiful worms. Soon the world will burn in nuclear fire.
Quite possibly that could happen. But hey, I'm Gen X. We spent all of the 80s thinking we were going to die in a nuclear war. So I'm used to this.
Okay, feeling. That was a quote from Fallout New Vegas Old World Blues.
I thought I'd heard it. But yeah, no. I've never actually played it, but I think I've heard that quote. But yeah, no, I don't. I actually don't game all that much. Like I said, been playing Red Dead because it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
Go on.
Sorry if my mic quality's not that good. Why is it that microphones make like things sound really different than they actually sound in person? It's quite odd.
It's got a lot of different factors that has to do with like whatever the microphone was constructed with, the quality of the wire that the signal is going through. There's a bunch of little aspects to it.
And yeah, because I just sound like a really depressed, nasally narrator.
You got to narrate. What was the show? Arrested Development, the one Ron Howard narrated.
Well, no, I was thinking more along the lines of Chills from Top 15s. The Burger King foot lettuce guy.
No, I think you're doing a very regional reference there. I'm not. It's not familiar to me at all.
Okay, it's that one Canadian guy who speaks with like the weird, like with incorrect inflection and all that. Like all of his inflections are out of like.
So, interesting little update. I was still Googling flights.
Yeah.
And I searched, I saw on Google, it said flights from like $2,700. So I clicked on that. And then it says if I fly out from Newark, New Jersey, instead of flying out from my local airport by me, the flight is $1,700 round trip if I fly out of New Jersey.
Oh, you just got to go to New Jersey.
Yeah, you just got to. That's what it seems for most flights. You have to either drive down to JFK in the city or drive to Newark into Jersey, and the flights are cheaper. But yeah, it seems like if I really wanted to go, as long as I planned it out correctly, I could get it. I mean, a 38-hour, 10-minute trip sounds disgusting, but for $1,700 versus $11,000.
Yeah, what probably happens is it's 38 hours, point A to point B. There's probably a changeover. You're probably sitting. Yeah, you're probably sitting in airports for about 12 hours.
That's the worst part of flying.
We will cook and eat the rich with the ovens and stoves and grills they sell us.
There was a kind of funny, kind of dumb comedy in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yes, I know. I'm aware. Yes, it had Motorhead. It had Motorhead.
Yeah, Lemmy was there, and it was a lot of people that you see in all the British comedy from the 80s and 90s. It had its moments. It wasn't great, but there was funny stuff in it. And it literally was these angry poor people start a restaurant, which they call Eat the Rich. And they insult all the rich people who go there, and the rich people think this is hilarious. Yeah. But they are actually killing rich people and serving them up as food. And so no one knows they're actually literally eating the rich people.
You know, those are if this was in Soylent Green, these people would be the heroes.
Yeah. Well, see, Soylent Green, that's the boring thing where they powder the dead people and turn it into slush. In Eat the Rich, it was actually like, steaks and whatnot.
I can kind of see like the Soylent Green, the fact that they're turning people into food. I can see that happening if we get to a spot where they're like, yo, we have all these dead people. We have no space to grow food. What are we going to do? Yo, let's turn all these dead people into food.
You hear horrific stories, and particularly from some of the cities that were under siege.
So what are we gonna do with all? What are we gonna do with all that? What are we gonna do with all the poop that comes out?
Fertilizer.
Use that to fertilize the crops.
Yeah, use that to fertilize the crops.
Yeah, but no, there were particularly like the siege of Stalingrad and whatnot. There were very disturbing stories about. People resorting to cannibalism.
People talking about. I've read stuff like people like hide your kid. Don't let people know you have a kid. Because they'll take your kid. Yeah. They'll take your kid. You'll never see him again.
Yeah. But also because so many people were getting killed in the siege of Stalingrad, there were bodies everywhere, and desperate people were cutting off slices.
There was a serial killer that went through something exactly like that, where they had to eat kids and stuff, and it became like a habit for him, and he started like just grabbing kids from the States when he moved.
Yeah.
And like eating them. I can't remember if it's
been pretty messed up people over the years.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. There's always some horror story you can find. Oh, here we go. I was looking for rum drinks. Make a rum drink.
Plant eater. Heine says that poop from meat eaters isn't good for fertilizer. It's plant eater poop that does the trick. That's why we'll just get all the vegans and vegetarians.
Hi, Lee.
Hi,
the thing is, I don't think that's literally true, Heine. But if you've read the book or watched the movie The Martian, the guy where he fertilizes his potato crops with his own poop, you actually have to process it because
you have to grind it up and emulsify it.
Yeah. It can actually make you sick.
You have to mix it in into a solution with the soil.
Yeah. Speaking of fertilizer, when I was living in Oregon, and
it'll work better. Sorry, it'll work better with fungus.
Okay. What were you saying about Oregon?
It was about fertilizer. When I was in Oregon and we were growing pot plants, one of the cats decided to dig a hole in one of the pots and like poo in it. Oof. And that plant grew the tallest and thickest and best, and grew the fattest nugs.
Well,
wait, you're talking about like marijuana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
We named the plant after the cat. I don't remember what we called it, but we basically named it after the cat.
When do we get to make detoxes war crimes?
Well, it depends if you're an entrepreneurial or no, entrepreneur is the wrong word. Proactive. Are you going to be proactive and get the war criminals now, or wait till society collapses and then get them?
We'll get them if mission failed. We'll get them next time in the afterlife. In purgatory. We'll beat them up in purgatory and then throw them into Necrovolve, where they'll all be turned into Argent energy made from the souls of the damned. That was a Doom reference.
I was about to say that sounds like another video game reference.
In Doom Eternal, Necrovolve's the city of the damned.
All right.
Has like a soul energy factory. With a giant citadel.
I bet that's carbon neutral. Like the demon realm gets a bad rap, but I bet soul energy is carbon neutral, and they're just doing their part. They're just doing their part to preserve.
Yeah, but they're also making demons out of the. They're making demons and undead and angels out of the bodies of the fallen.
Yeah, but nobody's perfect. I mean,
Well, in Doom, everyone goes to hell, regardless if you've done good or not. Good or bad.
I feel like that script was written by someone who doesn't lead a particularly good life. They've just tried to make themselves feel better, where they send everyone to hell. And it's not just them.
Well, no, it's because heaven is being powered by hell, and the angels, in this case called the Makers, are feeding off of that, and Makers spelled MA.
You get a big fucking gun and you get to shoot things.
Big fucking gun is actually the name of one of the weapons. BFG.
I know. Yes, I'm old enough to have had a floppy disk that had the original Doom on it, the BFG. Okay. So,
also for some reason, I still see Trump supporters sometimes. Like, guys, are you seriously supporting a president who fucking lost an election like about over a year ago, who gave up?
If you want to get depressed, we get dickheads at rallies in Australia waving Trump flags, which makes no sense at all.
Hey, when do we get to deport them into the ocean?
Well, a certain number of them are killing themselves with just how friggin' stupid they are. But
no, we need to deport them to the core of the earth. Or deport them into the nearest volcanoes.
Bring back the sacrifices to the gods. Push people you don't like into a volcano.
Maybe if we had sacrifices, people would stay alive.
Push them in an earthquake fault. San Andreas fault.
All right, we've got to wait for the San Andreas fault to open up, and then you can throw people into it. But,
no, it's separating. We got to make sure we got to throw them into one where they're pushed. Well, no, that would be a volcanic fault.
Yeah, but that's such a popular sort of trope in various disaster movies. The San Andreas fault is going to go from just to actually crack open and. California slides into the ocean type of thing.
Well, I thought it was a transform fault boundary, not a divergent boundary.
Man, it would be so great if California just freaking...
No, I feel like in the next million or so years, San Andreas is gonna merge onto like this, like the how was it, the western side of Mexico, because it's sliding down. It's not pulling away from California, unless I could be wrong. But
yeah. Well, actually, okay. Here's a weird little bit of trivia about once in a million year geological events. We have on the coast south of where I live, so various rock formations just off the coast, and there's a little winding road that follows the coast. We call it the Great Ocean Road. It's very scenic. A lot of people like to do the drive as a tourist thing. There were these big rock columns called the 12 Apostles, even though there weren't 12 of them. And in the same area, there was, you get those rock formations that like forms a bridge. There's like a hole under there, and there's two bits, and there's a rock bridge going over that, we used to call London Bridge.
No, you know what we need? We need Mr. Plinkett for president.
In the last 10 years, 2 of the 12 Apostles and London Bridge collapsed. Not at the same time, at different points, but it all happened in a 10-year period. Those types of events are like 1 in a million year geological events, and we had 3 of them happen in a 10-year period, which I personally find really trippy. But
it is trippy. Yeah. The chances of like that stuff happening.
And that's why I say you can say something is 1,000,000 to 1, but you know what? There's a lot more than 1,000,000 of us, so it's gonna happen to someone.
Wait, I just noticed you changed your name to Mini Unsliced Sparkly Boner.
Nice.
I did.
Still using that MUSB acronym.
It's hard to keep coming up with new stuff.
And that's why I haven't bothered in 15 years still using the same online name.
You could do angry-ish Aussie now, because you feel like you've calmed down from your younger years.
I actually did make a second channel that I called Less Angry Aussie. That was where I just post videos where I was chilling out and stuff and not shouting and ranting. But I haven't posted anything on there in years. In fact, I think I forgot the password to that account. I don't know if I'd even be able to get back into it. But
that's something I've had a problem with, like online, like a lot of the time, like on Discord and Twitch and whatnot.
Guy sending you boner pics.
No, in fact, thankfully that's the least of my worries. No, what I was gonna mention is just moderators just basically being like trigger happy, but instead of with a gun, it's with a hammer.
Oh yeah. But that's the occupational hazard of being in the online life. Like, I just even like not on Discord, just on Facebook. I was in a group and someone posted something, and I just basically said, like, you really suck for posting that. And it turns out they were a friend of an admin, and this person demands I apologize. And it's like, guy was a piece of shit. Fuck you. And so they kicked the group, and I was like, I don't.
Well, no, I got banned from a Discord server for posting like like. I think it was like in 3 different channels. I posted 4 of the same videos, 2 of which were in forward, and the other 2 which were reversed versions of the 2 mentioned.
Right. Well, that's the unfortunate thing. When you are playing in someone else's yard, they do get to do whatever they want. So
they're like an angry old man saying, "Hey, you darn hoodlums, get off my damn lawn."
Dude,
hey, you darn hoodlums, get the fuck off my damn lawn.
That's me all the way. I've got a hair trigger. Like I always say to people, like, I'll block you just because I find you boring. If someone's doing something and what they're doing is really tired and cliche, it's just like,
yeah. If there's one person I really wish would get arrested already, it's this fuckwit named Jim Humble.
That's a familiar name.
Yeah, he's the man who promoted bleach medicine. The guy who started the bleach medicine cult.
The bleach
the
cult.
Bleach cult. Yeah, that fucking guy. Like, he's got he's like a disgusting. He's a really disgusting fucking Colonel Sanders look-alike. Oh, and despite having Humble as his last name, or what we think it could be a fake last name, he's very much the opposite of Humble. He literally thinks he's a fucking billion-year-old alien god from another galaxy.
Yeah.
Yes, he literally.
Angry, what are you making?
I am making another
Molotov cocktail.
I wanted to make a rum drink. It's called a cortado. So it's got 2 ounces of rum, a normal rum, and then half an ounce of a 151 proof rum.
Ooh. Any rum's good to me as long as it's not clear.
Yeah, and
I've
actually got some good white rums.
Angry, you got a troll in your chat there.
What the fuck is the troll? Right.
Sorry,
wait, can I see this? I gotta see this. Love you all. Love you. Wow.
It's just this weird dude who is friggin' upset, and it's embarrassing. Like, this sad fuck has created, and I'm not joking, in the region of 50 plus YouTube accounts just to do that. That shit's just embarrassing.
Oh, that reminds me. In some YouTube live stream chats, I've come across porn bots.
Yeah,
that's all of YouTube.
Yeah,
no, what I mean, years. I meant by little bots that's literally post essentially, I don't know, essentially their usernames will be something with XYZ and then peach emoji or something like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and they are just I don't know how
I've come across these shitty bots on Discord a long time ago as well.
Yeah,
they'll use the profile pictures they use for these bots will have pictures of something possibly Instagram influencers or shit, or Twitter.
Someone whose butt's very prominent or the boobs are very prominent in the profile.
Yes, picture. Definitely. Oh, actually, that reminds me. There was this bot I got a friend request from out of nowhere with no profile picture that was just named Handy. Yes, that's all it was named.
Handy.
And and I actually kept sending the same message, and I figured that it was just running off a script and it was completely automated. It was not responding to any actual messages I said. So the very first message I says, "I hope you taste diarrhea," and then I kept spamming that message before and after every message, and it still went on as if it were talking to an actual person. Yeah. As if it were to guess what I would be saying, thinking it was a real person, but nope. I knew from the start it was going to be a fake. It was going to be a bot, and
they never go away.
Yeah, they're like herpes.
Well, not only that, I feel like these bots are being set up and run by fucking basement dwellers and fucking basement dweller scammers in fucking India or something.
Yeah, India, Russia, all over the place, because once they set up the script and they can run automatically, it doesn't matter that 999 people out of 1,000 or 9,999 out of 10,000 don't fall for it. If they can do it millions of times, they score some hits.
Also, I really wish 4chan culture would die.
It just mutates.
What I mean,
it dies, it mutates.
Well, one thing I really hate is just how some people think saying the N-word or the F slur is somehow funny. No.
It's pretty juvenile. It's like,
it's not just juvenile. It's fucking embryonic humor.
Angry. He made another account just for you, Angry.
Oh god, it's
what I mean. No, it's actually no. It's not even that. It's fucking before the egg is fertilized humor.
There are disembodied entities waiting in the ether.
I want to say that I've spent years on 4chan. I first went on there in 2006 when I was literally a kid, and it's an amazing community of the most messed up people. And what I mean by that is there was a time during Christmas time where 4chan donated thousands of dollars to kids so they could get toys for Christmas. But the messed up part was they put messed up messages on the thing. But they donated real cash to help real kids, but they put stuff like FU N-word and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's a mixed.
Okay, okay, you know what? We need to find 4chan servers and like put an EMP bomb in there or something.
It is. Look, and again, and I get that completely, but it's just like there are always.
Yeah, we need to fry the servers to the point till they just just burn out.
4chan used to actually be a horrible website back when I was first on it because people were posting the most horrible things, but now it's just full of edgy teenagers who think they're cool because they say racist stuff. That's what it is now.
Not only that, I've come across Discords. I've come across this one YouTube user that I watched on occasion. Like his most recent video, literally talked at at one part about his Discord server, and then he deliberately made it a free range server that's essentially kind of like 4chan, and he's like he doesn't give a shit about it. And I'm like, dude, you have some serious problems.
Yeah, but I think you go back in time, you find Neanderthals in a cave, and they're coming back from a hunt, and they're like that same guy has with his hand paint put profanities on the cave wall while we were all out.
Okay, well, no, slurs didn't even exist then. I don't think because
they did. It was like Og has sex with mammoth.
No, not what I meant. I meant racial slurs and stuff like that.
I feel like slurs only have
so dumb. He comes from cave 23, not cave 13.
I feel like slurs only have a power to them because people allow them to have a power to them.
Right.
Yeah.
In a way.
No, but okay. This YouTuber I was talking about.
I'd say yes.
This YouTuber in question is called Mike Lat. His name is Mike Lat. That's his YouTube name, and his last video was called Retirement. He didn't actually completely retire. He's just making videos less now. But I took one look at a server, and my God, it's just full of the N-word everywhere, every second. And I wish why haven't we adopted Germany's laws on shit like this?
Well, there's a question of whether that actually.
I feel like at some point we got to physically intimidate these people. I may sound, I don't know, I don't know, a little extreme here, but I really think we need to go to the fucking fullest extent at just ridding the world of these pathetic, blood-sucking scum.
If we go by history, that has never ever worked and has only created a dramatic back push.
Yeah. It's
Then we gotta do. We gotta start a program where we load them all into space capsules and launch them into the sun.
Saying I don't know, just saying we need to go get all these people and get rid of them because they don't agree with my ideas sounds very 1930s dictatorish to me.
No, it's not about having different ideas. It's about these people just straight up being promoting ideas that literally get people hurt and killed.
Yeah, but there is
no love and tolerance for the hateful and intolerant.
What? Actually, I think our views probably coincide a lot, but when you start going for extreme and absolutist ideas, you then end up finding the person next to you doesn't think the same as you do, and so what are you going to do then? Do they get put on the train to the camp as well because they wouldn't stay true to your view of
let's just put the re-education camps, and I mean the proper kind.
Yeah, there's actually Woody Allen is actually a terrible person, but he did write some very funny stuff over the years. And there was a thing because I had a thing of short stories he wrote in the 70s, and there's one of them he ended up using in one of his movies like decades later. But it's basically all these revolutionaries, and they're like, and Woody Allen character's in there, and he's going like, "Yeah, the revolution, we're going to," and they sort of split up and go and do, and then he meets up with the other group, and he goes, "Hey, where'd Smith go?" And they went, "Smith lacked purity. We had to purge him." It's just like how they all started. They all thought the same thing, but then one person would have a slightly different opinion, and people who started with a good but extreme idea said, "Well, he's not going along with our idea, so fucking we're going to purge him now."
There's there's a Whitest Kids You Know sketch that's kind of along the same lines, and it's basically like, all right, anarchy, like we did it, we're gonna start over and do how things we want to do. And one guy's like, all right, I work at a nuclear plant, and we have to make sure that doesn't blow up. And then he's like, all right, you do that, and then we'll have other people give you food that we make. And basically they round back to like, we need to have a government to run stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, although it is a joke, it does kind of destroy itself, if you know what I mean. I mean, like, the skit kind of contradicts how anarchism actually works, because the whole point is that everyone recognizes and respects each other's individuality, or is supposed to.
What's usually happened, because there have been several successful anarchist experiments in the world in the last 150 years, but then people who actually want power hate the idea, hey, that thing where no one has power seems to be working. I better kill all of them. It's just, that's what's happened when there's been successful sort of anarchist or free social experiments. People who wanted power said, oh, that's pretty threatening. I better fuck them up.
Okay, what if during I don't know, let's say Elon Musk's business meetings, I really hope one of the people attending the meetings pulls shit out of their pants and throws it in the trash, and then they start fighting over it.
I think at some point the board of directors of the various companies he's on are going to work out he's actually damaging our companies too much. We have to fucking cut him off at the knees because he just is rabbiting on.
Well, no, the reference I was making was the Whitest Kids You Know skit. The Timmy, it's called Timmy Poops His Pants.
No, it's actually it's a funny sketch. He's just like in a business meeting, and he just like pulls a turd out of his pants and puts it in the garbage like nothing happens. And his coworkers are around the table like, "What was that, dude?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" It's pretty funny. Give it a watch.
Well, not only that, he throws it in the freaking recycling.
Well, that's because he's responsible.
Yeah, he's responsible.
There's the poop in the recycling. But then he later picks it up with his hands.
So I was just curious because Mega Leech and Safa are always in the stream, but I never see them on camera or hear them.
Yeah.
Also,
occasionally,
recently I've started kind of getting obsessed with this blue fox girl from a video game.
Sure, why not? Video game.
Well, no, it's her name is so the character is Crystal. The reason why is because of a recent Half-Life 2 mod that replaces Alex Vance with Crystal, and then there's like an upcoming version that's in the making where the original voice actress is voicing the character, but with unique lines and basically pulling the voice actress out of retirement.
Okay.
Angry, someone said your name in chat, so now I can stalk you.
Oh, cool. God, what is this now?
Oh, that's my Facebook name. Yeah, that's Toby.
Toby Toberson.
Toby McCall.
Yeah, no. Toby's a long time sort of channel pal, but yeah, he's on Facebook. That's my Facebook name.
I got excited. I was like, all right, I can stalk this man.
Andrew K. I was once friends with you on Facebook before, but we never really talked directly.
I don't. Who talks? I talk to half a dozen people. I've got a whole bunch of friends.
Well, no, I remember that one time. This one meme. It was from a Facebook page.
shitty Facebook page called Not Your Father's Libertarian, later changed to Not Your Father's Politics. And it was this hard to swallow pills meme that said, if you were a good worker, you wouldn't need a union. And they posted the image saying, eat shit, labor union workers, everyone else have a nice Labor Day. And I'm like, who the fuck actually thinks like this?
Oh, losers. That is not the sort of thing that I would.
Yeah, I was the one who shared that and said, how could anyone think like this? Or imagine actually thinking like that.
Well, I don't know. There's people who always think they're different and special and whatnot. And they're usually oblivious to what they have because someone else sacrificed something. But
yeah, I really hope that Elon Musk has one of his directors on the board crap his pants during a meeting.
I think Elon's the one likely to crap his pants, quite honestly. Put his hand down there and play with it for a while.
Actually, no, it should be he should hear the brown noise. You know, the brown noise.
Oh, right. No, the brown note. Yeah.
Noise.
Well, it depends. I know it's a noise that's supposed to make people shit themselves. Yeah.
I've heard it's a myth.
It is definitely a myth. It was a whole South Park episode.
It was also.
Oh yeah. Well, if that's a myth, then Santa Claus is a myth.
Well, there's also this.
Checkmate.
There was a video by Wang, called the Brazilian SpongeBob Olympics incident or something like that. I can't remember how the title of the video is structured, but essentially it's like a commercial for SpongeBob came on during the Brazilian Olympics, and it caused a bunch of people to shit themselves. It was likely a hoax.
Out of all the things that aren't...
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, what were you going to say? I was going to say that sounds like it's someone mutated. A thing that did happen in Japan. There was an anime where the robots... I think it might have even been Pokemon, where there was some flashing lights in it.
Yeah, it was. It was a Pokemon episode where they introduced the Pokemon Porygon, who is like I think he's like a man-made Pokemon. I don't know if he's man-made or what, but it's a weird Pokemon. Anyways, the flashy lights in that show did give a lot of kids in Japan seizures, and that episode was banned because of that.
Yeah.
Back in like the 90s. But I was going to say, out of all the things that turned out not to be real, Santa Claus is the one thing that I wish was. Out of everything that you learn in life isn't true or isn't real.
Yeah.
I always knew Santa Claus was a lie. No, I'm serious. I did.
So
no, that's fair. I want to say hi to Stream Tech on Twitch, by the way. Because it's not that often new people pop up on Twitch. So
is 949 your area code, bro?
Maybe. Tech 420.
Tech 420.
I just remembered something. And there was this. Okay, so anyone here familiar with a Has-Been Hotel?
The what hotel?
Has-Been Hotel.
No.
Okay, so in the pilot episode, there's a scene where this news anchor named Katie Killjoy, she says, "Oh, you can keep that to yourself. I don't touch the gays," is what she says. And then, like about a minute later, she starts touching the main protagonist, like on the chest. Like, okay, you said you don't touch the gays, yet you're fucking touching the gay right now.
Okay, that's a weird one.
It's like, okay, like you said you don't like. It's fucking like makes them like. It's hilarious how she says she doesn't do it, yet she does it like less than a minute later.
Yep. Okay. That sounds like a weird one.
You'd have to see it for yourself because it gets really just hilarious.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of things like that. I'm trying to think, what was the weird thing I was watching the other day? There is so much weird shit out there. Actually, you can always find. Even I love going on. Yeah, you probably find some fun stuff by just searching weird shit on YouTube and see what comes up.
Wait, guys, this is very important for anyone in the chat who doesn't know. You can get Angry Aussie T-shirts at Zazzle or Redbubble. All right, very important. Go spend your money.
What about Neon Grizzly? True. What about neongrizzly.com?
You know what? Now I have to. All right, hang on. Now I have to go on goddamn Redbubble and look up Angry Aussie shirts.
You know what? I need one of my artist friends to do updated artwork of me with my long grey hair, because all the artwork is based on what I looked like 10 years ago.
Young, beautiful you, and now you need updated, older, more beautiful you.
Yeah, I need the longer and grayer hair in some of the artwork.
Just be like, take the picture, make the hair gray instead of black. It's good enough.
Yeah. Gotta make it a bit longer too. A bit longer.
I really wish Mike Lindell's pillows ate him.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said Michael Lindell, but then I realized
that's what I said.
Lindell. Yeah, no, that was
like Lindell's pillows.
That guy's
it should be weird though. It shouldn't be called My Pillow because it's obviously not my pillow. It's Mike Pillow.
Mike Pillow.
So I searched Angry Aussie on Redbubble.
Yeah.
And I got a bin chicken wearing a Santa hat shirt and a dictation sticker, and it has a picture of a dick, and then it says "tation." But no shirts for you.
That's
no soup for you.
That's not me. Sorry, now I want to find it. Where are we?
Yes, go on Redbubble and search Angry Aussie.
Angry Oslo.
Now I have to go onto your stream and actually just go through the link.
Which channel is this that I'm logged into?
Also, most explosions in movies are portrayed very inaccurately.
Okay.
Like explosions are not big expanding balls of fire. They're like a giant. It's like a giant outward pushing of. Yeah, it's a big poof with like really loud poof with like a lot of dust that gets kicked in the air.
Yeah.
It doesn't like if you ever see real explosions like recorded live on video, they look nothing like what they put in movies. The only time explosions would look like that is if, say, there was gasoline or something.
Which is what
my newest album.
What's your newest album?
It's Fire. That's what it is.
Aha. So that's my actual Redbubble stuff. It's like,
all right, found it. Yeah. Oh, look at this angry and AZ sticker.
Double.
You want an angry AZ sticker?
It's only $1.34.
There you go.
Look up the Crystal mod for Half-Life 2.
Yeah, these shirts aren't even old. These shirts are like beyond old.
Yeah. Wait, no, the design's 10 years old, so it's like.
Yeah, this is legit back when I was watching you. That's how old.
Yeah. We're actually probably 15 years old, if I'm being honest. That's how old the designs are. But yeah. So that's not something I've pursued. I haven't had updated. Actually, the cocktail one was done for me about 2 years ago.
I was about to say, now you need a newer one with how you look now with like that shirt, like holding up cocktail stuff.
Yeah. I got to get one of my artist friends to do something that's updated. Me in a cocktail shirt, because that's my life now. Cocktails and politics is gone, and now I'm all cocktails.
Andrew, do you remember the Frankie Foster video?
Yes, I remember the Frankie Foster video. Rule 34 or whatever. like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends wasn't weird enough already.
I mean, she did she was pretty much addicted to cookies.
Yes, they never quite went that far on Cartoon Network though, where she got her boobies out for cookies. But we could read between the lines. We could read between the lines that could have happened.
Angry, if I buy a shirt off of Redbubble, how much money does Redbubble give you? So
like
it's
$1.
Really? It's $18.71 for the shirt. So if I were to buy this shirt, and it probably come up to like $25 for shipping, you're saying they're gonna give you a goddamn $1?
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, no, I would literally rather.
I'll send you the art, and you can just get one printed locally.
I was about to say I could go up to the mall, and they have a shop that does it.
Yeah. I'll send you the high definition art, and you can do whatever you want with it.
I was about to be like, it would make more sense, like if you had a box of shirts and you mailed me one, and I sent you like $25. That makes way more sense because then you're actually getting profit. Yeah, that's not. Yeah. I want to support you, but I'm not going to support Redbubble over you.
Yeah, no. The reason back in the day I used Redbubble, because if you're going to do merch, you have two options. One is you outlay a huge amount of cash to get a lot of merch made, and then you sell that, and then you have a much higher margin on that merch. You end up, if you do that, if you bulk make merch, you end up having a bigger margin. Or Redbubble costs me $0. It costs me nothing to set that up, and it's there, and they handle all the transactions, and I can put whatever markup I want on it, and I put the minimum. So it's like it's a couple of dollars. I'd probably get a couple of dollars from a sale, but because it was never about making money, it was just a kind of fun thing. And just in case I became a huge star, I set up, because it actually happened to a couple people I know. You know, they had something that went viral, and then thousands of people were wanting to buy merch, and they didn't have any. So I had all that merch stuff set up just in case I became a huge star or something, which clearly never happened. So, but yeah, Redbubble or Zazzle costs nothing to set up. Whereas if you do the merch yourself, that's actually quite expensive. You get more margin from the merch sales, but it costs you a lot of money.
Have you considered Etsy?
I
feel like they take less.
Yeah, but at the moment, Etsy's actually doing really shitty things to people on the site.
Are they?
Yeah, the last year or so, there's been a bunch of horror stories about how badly Etsy is playing on. Yeah, Mega Leech, I agree with you. I got a core group of friends.
Let me know when you get that new design for your shirts, because I would definitely buy one off of you or from you or whatever, however that works. I want one.
Yeah, I'm tired. I should really be in bed, be asleep right now. It's 4:17 a.m. right now.
You should get some sleep. You do sound
so. Where are you, on the West Coast?
Yes.
What state?
California.
California.
Yeah, definitely get some sleep, man.
Yeah, go
but thanks for dropping in. It's always good to.
Yeah, sometimes I tend to, when it comes to sleep, I tend to torture test myself. Like kind of like torture testing a gun to the point of like it catching fire.
It is good to find your limit.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, that makes sense. But yeah. If it's catching up with you, definitely get some.
Hi,
sleep.
Kirsten.
Hello, Kirsten. By the way, Hallie and hello.
All right. Good night.
All right. Thanks for dropping in, man. Get some sleep, okay?
Yeah, thanks.
So, yes, Kirsten, how's things going in your world, by the way?
Yeah.
It was going real well for you last night. Husband was making you old fashions and toasted sandwiches, which live in the dream at that point. But, yes, had big night here last night. Because Saturday nights sometimes go late, sometimes not, but because Abigail was here and we're having fun and went through to like midnight, and then it was just like tired, should go to bed, and did. And then after pancakes, took Abigail home today, and just been chilling otherwise.
That guy that was just on the stream sounds very young.
Yeah, he also sounded kind of... I don't know if he's tired or stoned.
I think he's just young and he's on. I feel like younger people on stream are kind of always awkward.
Yeah, but that's
so
okay.
If you're around older people, no, it's fine. I could just tell. Yeah. You just tell.
Yeah. Kirsten, you finished Yellowstone, the TV series. What to do now? And you made pie cuts. I'm trying to think, what have I been watching?
Watch the Punisher series on Netflix.
I think I watched most, if not all, of season 1 of Punisher, actually. So I kind of like the dude who plays the Punisher. I like him as an actor.
The Punisher is my favorite. I guess not a superhero. He's more of a vigilante.
Yeah, he's a Marvel character, though.
Yeah, he's my favorite character by far.
Yeah.
He's literally just a guy that wanted a normal life, and someone screwed him over by taking his family, so now he just wants to make things right for people.
Yeah. I got an alternate timeline comic. I think it came out in the 90s a while ago. It's in one of my boxes somewhere. It's called The Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe, because in this version of the Punisher's life, he's having a picnic with his family in Central Park, and the X-Men are fighting some dastardly thing, and his family get killed in the crossfire. Like they're not the target of what's going on, but just with all the mutant powers going on, his family gets killed, and he loses his shit and kills a couple of X-Men, and then he ends up going to prison. But then these rich people bust him out. It's kind of like, because we had family members killed in the crossfire of these mutant fights too, and then Punisher's just going around killing every character in the Marvel universe.
That's a comic?
Kind of funny. Yeah, it's a comic. It's like from the 90s or something.
Ooh, that's interesting. I had a couple comics from the early 2000s. I think they were called, whatever the character was. It would be like Spider-Man 3000 and Punisher 3000. It was them set into the future.
Yes.
And those were interesting too.
Yeah, the future Batman ones I found quite interesting.
There was an alternative Batman where he uses guns. It was like a cartoon or something. It was awesome. I'm like, this is way better than normal Batman.
Yeah. Oh, I love this debate. Kirsten and husband. What's the topping for pikelets? Cinnamon, sugar, lemon juice, jam, honey. Okay.
What is that?
Pikelets are small pancakes, basically.
Small pancake.
Yeah. There's an English.
Strawberry jam.
There we go. Strawberry jam. There is a correct answer. I do lean towards jam on them, actually. Yeah. And some people do cream. I'm not big on cream. Some people do jam and cream. I'm not a huge fan of cream. I would probably do, but if they're hot off the griddle, I might cinnamon and sugar, lemon juice.
Is it basically just a little pancake, more or less?
Yeah, no, it's literally just a little pancake. It's about that big.
Okay, so sliced strawberries with whipped cream.
Hot damn. Okay.
Or you could do slice like banana slices with like walnut bits and then maple syrup on top of that.
Damn, that's some gourmet shit you got going on there. I love that.
Or you could put blueberries in them. You have blueberry ones, put chocolate chips in them, have chocolate chip ones.
Yeah. Well, we had Mrs. Angry's pancakes this morning. She has this fantastic recipe, which is kind of wholemeal pancakes, and she put some very interesting stuff in. And I was mixing it up because I had a couple. Like the most basic one is lemon and sugar. You put lemon and sugar on a thing. But when I put lemon and maple. Another one I did this. This is one of my homemade syrups. The base, that's a natural color, that red color. The base of that is a native Australian fruit called lily pilly or ryeberry. And it was basically, these grew in my yard. And so I harvested them all. They're these bright red little fruits and make a syrup. You basically boil them up with water and sugar and you get this really. It's kind of the flavors somewhere between cherry and peach. It's really nice. So I had this on pancakes this morning.
I feel like cherry and peach, you have to be very careful with balancing because too much of one overpowers.
Yeah. Cinnamon, sugar, and lemon, I'm on board with. That is one of my favorite pikelet or pancake toppings. Sugar, lemon is a kick-ass topping, basically. It just reminded me, before last night's live stream, I shot a bit of video with Abigail because she had a lightsaber here. We're doing a Star Wars cocktail for May the 4th, as in, May the 4th be with you, where she's playing a Jedi because she has a lightsaber. And I did we were trying to think up whatever Star Wars cliches we could. And one of them is because I put a sugar rim on the glass. And she goes, "Is that sand? I hate sand. It gets everywhere." We're trying to think of all the Star Wars jokes we could. Guess you had a lemon tree down the street, got flour, eggs, sugar, and the food parcels from church. Nice.
I'm trying to think of what you could use, like do lemon with.
Lemon and sugar is great.
I wonder what kind of, what fruit you could put on with the lemon flavor that would still taste good.
I think you're on the mark when you were talking about strawberries as well.
Lemon.
Strawberries, lemon, and sugar would be very good.
What if you put a little bit of lemon juice in them when you cook them so they have a slight lemon flavor, right? And you take those and you put sliced strawberries on them. And then on top of that, you put powdered sugar.
I tell you what Mrs. Angry does, because I juice a lot of citrus for my cocktails. We'll peel them sometimes, and she'll take the peel of the zest and she'll grind it up into a powder. Sometimes she keeps it wet, but other times she'll dry it out. So it's a dry powder, and it'll be this dried lemon or lime zest, and she mixes that into the pancake mix.
Ooh.
That's really good. So you basically, the way you do that, you get lemon peel or lime peel, then dry it out in the oven on a low temperature, and then you just crush it into powder, and then you mix that into a pancake mix or a cake mix. So,
what's a jelly crystal?
Oh, Jell-O, We call it jelly. So jelly crystals is Jell-O. Oh, yeah, Mega Leech. Jelly crystals with lemon juice would be pretty good, actually, because then you're getting the sweet and fruity and lemony stuff all happening at once.
You know what I want to try? I want to try one of those, what do they always see? It's like a meat pie or something, or a meat stick or something that you can buy from shops.
We have both meat pies and kebabs. It sounds like you're talking about...
It might be the meat pie. It's like something, and it's cooked inside of a pastry.
Yeah, no, that's a meat pie. That's a traditional food.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of meat pies. I like meat pies.
It looks like something I like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically... And you get some gourmet ones.
Yeah, sausage roll. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, the sausage roll? Yeah. Sausage rolls.
Honestly, the only Aussie food I don't seem keen to try at all is fairy bread.
That's, bread and butter and
sprinkles.
Sprinkles, yeah. So, sausage rolls, meat pies, pasties. That's another one Megaleaf put out. That's a big
pasties.
Pasties, I think you pronounce them usually, but yeah, those are all pastry with meat type products in them. So Kirsten's husband made a strawberry Collins, lemon juice and strawberry gin. That sounds good. I've had my alcohol. I'm just drinking water. It's 9:30. No, I'm just going to drink water for the rest of the stream, I think. Even though tomorrow's a holiday, I think I might just drink water for the rest of the stream. Oh. And a little bit more water.
We have critters that live in the roof. I live in the top floor, so I always hear them. So I heard this noise inside the room, and I thought a critter had gotten in the room, right? Yeah. And I look over in the corner, and I see this thing that somehow got in the room. I don't even know how, because the door's shut. It's been shut for all night, and it's just randomly hanging out.
Yeah, nice kitty. Hello. Yeah, we have possums in our roof, and sometimes they appear to be having races in the roof, be lying in bed and hear this thundering noise because they're not just hanging around; they're running from one end of the ceiling to the other.
I'll hear that at night too. It'll be quiet, and the second I go to lay down, it's like.
Yeah. At least they're not having sex because they scream when they're having sex. You can't tell the difference between possums fighting and possums fucking. Basically,
some people are like that.
Yeah, some people are like that. You're right. You can't tell the difference.
You're like, I've definitely watched some videos where I'm like, I can't tell if she's enjoying this or not.
Yep, there's a whole thing with some people. Yeah, definitely. It's just like,
I like Mega Leech's comment. We call that a cat in Australia.
That was, critter. Kirsten says fairy bread's good in a certain context. Fairy bread's good when you're a kid, basically, because it's sugar. It's sugar on bread. Basically.
I bet I would like it if I was really drunk and you were like, "You want to try this fairy bread?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I do."
That's a context where it would work too. Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure there's a combination I would like.
Yeah. Some people try and get fancy and maybe put cinnamon on there. We literally just would put the sprinkles on it.
When I was a kid, we did cinnamon toast all the time. We did, like butter and you put cinnamon sugar on it, let it soak in.
Yeah. I have a thing of cinnamon sugar somewhere. I was trying to find it last night and I couldn't find it and I was really annoyed. And then Abigail was going, "You need to organize your spices." And I'm like, "You're not the boss of me." And because they're all just shoved in a cupboard over there. They couldn't find anything. But,
I'm very I like it alphabetical.
Yeah, I probably should have. I don't know. Maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and be motivated and go, "Yeah, Abigail was right. I need to sort out," because every now and then the offspring or Mrs. Angry get in a baking mood. So we've got a bunch of savory spices, but then we've got a bunch of sweet stuff for making cakes and stuff too. I think I do need to sort it out a bit. Also, lots of food coloring because various time they want to color the cake or color the icing that's on the cake. Megaleech had a spice drawer. Okay.
I feel like all spice racks or drawers in any house have one or two spices that have sat in there for probably a year or two, have never been opened. They never touch them ever.
Absolutely.
They saw it and they're like, "Oh, I could use this for some weird cool dish." Never touch it again.
Yeah. No, there is a ridiculous number of spices in the cupboard up there, and 75% of them don't get used.
Yeah, I feel like
you've got some that you use all the time. But...
Yeah, and other ones don't even like cumin doesn't get used that much, unless you do maybe some I think some Mexican food uses it.
Yeah, no, I've got cumin and coriander and 5 spice and all these different things up there. But yeah, no, 75% of them don't get used.
They do you guys have Cinnamon Toast Crunch there, or is that America's cereal?
It's an American thing, but you do find it in some. I have actually seen it in supermarkets.
Okay, well, I found out in the spice section they're selling just the cinnamon powder itself now.
Yeah. So up there, I've got cinnamon sticks, got cinnamon powder, got cinnamon sugar. But yeah,
cinnamon's a great spice. I'm so glad that it was discovered and brought across the world.
Yes. No, it is. It's bark of a tree that has just amazing flavors. It's
from a bark of a tree?
Yeah. Cinnamon is the bark of a tree.
Oh my God. That's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah. So when you see cinnamon sticks, it's the dried bark from a specific tree. And cinnamon powder is the ground up bark.
Wow, I never knew that. That's so crazy. I always thought it just came from something and they grounded it up, and kind of like sugar cane.
Sometimes it's a seed. Sometimes when you get the spices, it's a seed that's been ground up. But cinnamon is the bark from a tree. I like making syrups with it because you make a sugar syrup, an easy one, just 50% sugar, 50% water, and put some cinnamon sticks in it and put it to simmer so it reduces a bit. And then you get a really nice sugar syrup that has all these fantastic cinnamon flavors as well. Goes great with whiskey, makes an excellent old fashioned. just brings a lot of depth to an old fashioned if you make a cinnamon syrup.
I just find it crazy how there's a lot of stuff that was like that. Just like somebody had to find that bark of a tree and like, that's good, and just start peeling it off the tree. And
it probably started with someone who was just burning the wood in the fire, and they just went, "God damn, I love the way that wood smells when I burn it."
It had to be that or animals, right? That's another way we discovered stuff.
Yeah, we see animals eating stuff, and we went, "They seem to like it. What's that about? I'll try it." And that's the story. That's the rumor of where we found things like coffee and alcohol and drugs. It's like because an animal eats a particular thing, then it acts in a really wacky way, and the people watching it going, "The fuck was that about? It ate that. Then okay, I'm going to eat it too."
That makes sense to me because there's a lot of stuff that, like, looking at it through my human eyes, I would be like, I'm not eating that. I'm not. Doesn't look edible to me.
Yeah.
I like Safa's comment. The British sure did like those Chinese spices.
Yeah. My favorite is the one that ended up getting called allspice. It's also it's the ground pimento berry, which became known as allspice because this one thing people tasted it and went, man, that tastes like cinnamon and star anise and cardamom and so they just called it allspice. Sorry, I just have to do a thing. My daughter's out and she forgot her key, so I have to leave her a key, and then I'm going to send her a photo and go, okay, the key's here. So
you do your dad stuff.
I'm doing dad stuff.
I'll keep this chat under control here. Wild chat. He's the best dad. That's why I'm going to have him legally adopt me. Has nothing to do with the Australian healthcare at all. Has everything to do with him being a great dad.
Right, come back. Come back.
Oh, welcome back.
Just had to leave the key and.
Oh yeah, in the cocktails. That's right.
All right.
I can already see the future. I'm gonna be sitting in the immigration office in like Queensland, and they're gonna bring up this video and be like, "Can you explain this?" And it's gonna be me being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you adopted for the healthcare." I'll be like, sausage roll, and they'll be like, "All right, you're in."
Yeah, no, that will get you in.
I'll just have to shout Australian stuff. I'll be like, sausage roll, drop bear,
That'll work. That'll absolutely work. Jesus, that's yeah. All right. So,
like, why do you want to be? Why do you want to be an Australian citizen? Like, I don't know if you've seen the news, but it's not going that great where I'm from. I feel like I'd be safer here.
Yeah.
Way less worry about being shot because somebody didn't like the way I was driving.
Yeah. God, there was that funny video a couple years ago, and this guy released it himself because he thought he looked cool. It was his dash cam, and had his own dash cam pointing at himself, and he's carrying a pistol, and I don't know, like he cut someone off, or someone cut him off in a tunnel and whatnot, and he thinks it's on, and you see him, and he gets his gun out of the holster, and he's got it sitting in the lap. And then the car passed him, and they either shouted some abuse or they might have thrown something out the car window at him. And he's just pulling his gun out. And so he's shooting through his own windscreen and he just pulls a gun out and goes, blam, 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 blam. He didn't hit anyone. And it's like, dude, just what? You just fucked up.
Is that the one from? There's one from last year with a guy that got in a road rage incident. I don't remember exactly what the incident was, but he had a passenger in his car, and as the guy is like passes his vehicle, he starts firing. He like empties his clip out of the windshield of his car.
Yeah,
that was like last year.
Yeah, this guy didn't have a passenger, but it was very similar. It's like you see him and he just goes blam, 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 blam. Like, dude, you just fucking shut out your own windscreen.
Yeah, and you almost hear about that. I want to say every few months you'll hear like this person shot a gun, and I'm like, why is this so common? And then why am I so chill about it? Also, where it's not even bothering me.
I did. It's like a stand-up comedian doing a Netflix special, and she's going about like, yeah, she was an exchange student in Europe, and that's when you find out that shit you treat as normal in the US is really weird, and the rest of the world. And she's just talking about shooter drills and whatnot. It's like, no, man, if someone starts shooting at you, you don't run in a straight line, you zigzag. And the Europeans are looking at her going, fuck, they tell you that in school?
What's more sad than the shooter drills is the fact that they sell body armor backpacks.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah, that's a little bit depressing.
I want one just to walk through Albany, honestly.
I swear to God, my first time in San Francisco, this was 20 years ago, looking at the flights, and sort of what you're talking about, flights, it was heaps cheaper to fly into one of the smaller airports outside San Francisco. And so we did that, and then we got on the BART, the elevated train. What's the city next to San Francisco?
I don't even have any idea. San Diego? No.
I've blanked. But we were going in this elevated train over this thing and just looking down at the street going, this is the set for every Hollywood gang movie I've ever seen. Wherever we are now, this is fucked. I would not want to be just looking down at these streets. It was like warehouses and empty shops, and it just looked like real bad idea. No, honey, it's not Sacramento. Now I'm going to look at a map because
that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. What's the city next to San Francisco? I'll remember it when I see it. San Francisco. Sacramento.
Oakland?
What was that?
Oakland?
Oakland. It was Oakland.
Oakland is notorious for being bad. You're lucky you didn't get mugged.
No, because we weren't in Oakland. We were in this elevated thing that was going over Oakland.
Oh, okay.
And it just looked super fucked. And we were looking out the windows going, I'm glad I'm not down there.
There's comedians that have made jokes that you can be on one side of the bridge to Oakland, and it's like, oh, this is so nice and safe. And the second you cross the bridge, it's like, lock the doors.
Yeah. No, it just looked it. Like we were seriously looking out the windows of this train going, this looks like every Hollywood gang movie I've ever seen.
Yep.
That looks well fucked. Like no way am I going to
screwed. Oakland screwed like how Detroit is.
Yes. Yeah. I was just looking at it going, no fucking way. No fucking way. It looked so dodgy. And I wasn't seeing any people I wasn't seeing any angry people. You just looked at the environment and went, that's bad, man. That is bad.
That's the kind of place where you stop at a red light and then somebody jacks your car.
Yeah. You got to keep the doors locked. We joke. I remember like where I went to uni with AIDSy in Bathurst, which is west of Sydney. It's the other side. There's Sydney, and then there's the Blue Mountains, and then there's country area. And you have to cross the Blue Mountains. And there's one particular town in the mountains that is fucked and dodgy. And I was going to Sydney with a friend. He was driving, and we reached this town, and he just went, just lock the fucking door, okay? Keep the window up and lock the door. There's only a small chance something will go wrong here, but this town is full of really fucked up people, and we're not stopping here. I was just like, Jesus. It's just Surfers Bathurst, not dodgy, but there are a couple places in the mountains that are really dodgy.
Also, Safa, Detroit has been dead for, I don't even know, 20, 30 something years. Like they don't, there's nothing they could do with it. I don't even think they really make cars there anymore, right?
No, they don't. No.
And it's so run down that no business is going to risk putting in a new business there. It's a really messed up situation.
Yeah. It's like a bankrupt city. There's a whole thing with the water being really bad as well there.
Yeah. It's kind of sad.
RoboCop, which was made in the 80s, was kind of saying Detroit's kind of fucked, isn't it? And that was made in the 80s. And it's just like it used to be a really strong, vibrant town, and then progressively all the manufacturing jobs started shutting down, and it kind of went to hell.
I think the last good thing that happened in Detroit was the Grand Tour filmed a show there. That's it.
Okay.
That was a few years ago.
I know people jokingly came up with a thing with because there's all these abandoned auto factories in Detroit, and because when the colors were sprayed on cars, there was runoff where the excess paint would go down, and it would all congeal in layers. And some people would sort of get down into these drain things where this solidified paint was, and get a chunk of it and cut a chunk out and polish it, and you had all these different layers of the auto paint, and it actually looks beautiful. And someone came up with a name for it, and I forget what it was. Like they were pretending it was a rare mineral, and it was the layers of the paint from the auto factories, and it looked beautiful. And
I respect when people do stuff like that. In a way, they find something that's not really worth anything, like the Pet Rock guy.
Yeah. The what guy?
Pet Rock.
Oh yes, Pet Rocks. Yeah,
super smart. A Kirsten. Nope, they don't manufacture meth in Detroit. White people make meth. That would be down south in like Kentucky, Alabama, or really any state that has a backwoods to it. They're probably making crack in Detroit, if you want to be honest. Everyone knows that meth is like the white person drug. There was a comedian, Dave Chappelle, was talking about how meth is to white people now is like how heroin was to the black community in like the 80s.
Yeah. And that prescription drug that
opioids.
The prescription opioids that fucked everyone. Megaleech knows it. Fordite. That's what they called it.
That's like, such a clever name.
I'll find some pictures. And Safa, the name of the scary town in the mountains is Blackheath. Okay, I'll share these pictures because they look amazing.
And Safa, the South isn't really that stupid, but the thing is, the education standards differ across the states, and it's known that the South has lower education standards, and they also tweak their history to make themselves look a little bit better.
Yeah. So you look at these are all Fordite, because what that is, that's just layers of paint that seep down into drainage things and then solidified, and then people cut and polish it, and it looks absolutely amazing.
I like that. There's a pink one next to a green one. I like that.
Yeah. No, it's pretty, and just the variety of the Fordite. So Megan is saying the process that created Fordite is no longer in use. Old days cars were painted using hand-operated spray guns, overspray adhered to the racks, which would then run through the ovens with the cars. Yeah, and so people cut and polish, and it's just the layers of paint, the different colored paint, and it's completely random as well. So no two pieces are the same. It's beautiful. I think it's awesome.
Someone made a ring out of it. That's cool.
Yeah. No, that's very cool.
That reminds me of a few years ago in Nashville, Tennessee. There was a huge flood, and it flooded the Gibson guitar factory, and it mixed all their paints together into this weird swirl. So you can buy a Gibson guitar that has that weird paint swirl on it.
Oh, nice.
And they're really pretty looking.
There's also a way of painting, decorating things. It's done with guitars. It's done with other things. I've seen people do it with like motorcycle helmets. I forget what it is, but it's basically you have a big tub that's water, and then you put oil paints on top of it, and you sort of form patterns with this oil paint which floats on the top, and you dip the thing you want to coat in the paints through it, and it coats the thing you dip through in these random patterns. There are these. There's a special name for that process, and there's some great videos of people making stuff. Sometimes they're like dipping guitars or motorcycle helmets, and it's basically you put all these different oil paints on the surface of a vat of water, so they're swirling around, and you dip the thing through, and all the paint adheres to it, and you get this really wild paint scheme. It's pretty clever. Safa, yeah, actually, I kind of agree that Fordite, a lot of that is quite reminiscent of some Indigenous art in Australia. That's a good observation. I agree. It's kind of like that. That's it. Kirsten, I think those are both terms used. Kirsten says water marbling and megaleach hydro dripping. Yeah, those are two terms used. You can find some really, look up hydro dipping on like YouTube or whatever, and you'll find some trippy videos where you just see all the things people do. And there's a real skill to get the right sort of patterns on it.
Hey, is it possible to share a picture with you?
Yeah.
How does one do that?
You should. I don't know if you.
Is it the share button?
Yeah, you do share. You do the share button. I think I actually have to make it come live, but if you do that, I can make it so everyone can see it. Yes, I think it's just no dick pics. Okay, what do we got? Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
So that's like an example. That's just one of them. They have a green one too, but this so their guitars got messed up like that, and they're like, sell them.
Yep. No,
the paint swirled, and they took that paint and threw it on the guitar. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to share. I won't do videos in case I get content matched, but I'll show some pictures. This is what comes up in a search for hydro dipping. You can see all the different things. It's like motorcycle fuselages.
Hydro dipping is dope.
Yeah, no, it's wild. And yeah, it's really worth looking up the videos because it looks very cool when people do it.
It is. It's almost like magic because you could see it floating on the water, and next thing you know, they just dip it and it's on there.
Yeah. It's really cool. Musafiri's Blackheath on meth, probably. We used to joke also Lithgow was not much better than Blackheath. When I was at uni, they were talking about this nearby town, Lithgow. They're going to build a new prison there, and we were just joking. Yeah, they're just putting a fucking fence around Lithgow. That's what they're going to do. Like Lithgow is the place where the main street is called Main Street, and I'm not joking. The main street where all the shops is literally just called Main Street.
That reminds me of my uncle lives in a town called Lake Placid. It's kind of a tourist place. And it's such a small, cute town. The corner store on the corner of the road is called the corner store. That's what it says. It says the corner store on the thing.
Yeah.
He's like, go to the corner store. I'm like, where is it? He's like, you'll know where it is. Sure enough, the corner store.
It's on the corner. Hello, Justin, by the way. Just going to have a little drink of your water before bedtime. My throat's a little dry. Don't want to drink too much water just before bedtime. I'll have to get up in the middle of the night to go wee-wees. Oh yes, Mega Leech. Yeah, honestly, when Micro said Placid, it did remind me of that crocodile movie, Lake Placid, which was pretty goddamn funny. Betty White in it. With Betty White.
Oh yeah, you like my mug, Mega Leech? It's pretty great.
Like the mug, the cow mug.
I have another cow mug too, and there's a third cow mug I want to buy.
So get that? Utterly brilliant.
Utterly brilliant.
What
holiday is it?
Oh, it is Anzac Day, one of our war memorial days. So tomorrow is a public holiday. I'm not.
Is that the one that has to do with World War One?
Yeah, the
is that the one where they fought with like rocks in their hands and stuff?
Yeah, they got fucking massacred. It was grand plan of Winston Churchill's. He said, "Hey, there's a waterway that goes through the area known as the Dardanelles that would help us with our supply with the war in Europe. But Turkey are aligned with Germany, so we have to take them out. I'm sure we can do that very easily. We should just land a bunch of troops on the beaches in Turkey, and we'll take them out." And I think and the Turks successfully defended their homeland, but it was a real baptism of fire for the young nation of Australia at that point.
I only know about that because of an old video you did about that day when I was in school, and then I went into school and talked about it, and I actually got like a good grade for discussing that because it was a topic that wasn't we didn't know about that I had brought into school. So you basically gave me a good grade in school because of that.
Nice. Yeah, I remember that year I did a 3-parter, and it was because I was reading the stories, and they're horrifying because it's these very young men on both sides, like 18 to 21-year-olds, and most of them on both sides who'd never left home, and then they're thrown into this war. And there were so many horrific engagements in the Gallipoli campaign, and the one I was talking about was called the NEK, N-E-K, which is a Turkish term, and it got to the point where they were like, the Australians were storming Turkish trenches, and the stories from the guys who survived, it was like, first they ran out of ammunition because they don't have that many bullets when they do a run like that. And then because they had bayonets on their rifles, then they're just like fucking stabbing guys with bayonets. And it was like the bayonets broke, and then they're like hitting guys with rifle butts, and then it broke. And at the end, because it was a fight to the death between these guys, they were like grappling in a trench, and they would be picking up rocks and like beating. And this is like, can you imagine being somewhere 19 to 21 years old? You've never left home before, and you're somewhere the fuck else in the world, and you're beating another guy your age to death with a rock in a fucking mud. No, this is why war is bad, because it's fucks people up.
Yeah, I feel like there's some almost like a deeper thing in there if you just think about, because they, technology has progressed for them to have all the guns and stuff they had at the time, right? And they literally, as they're fighting in this war, de-evolutionized back to fighting like cavemen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that, yes, that's literally what happened. Now, given this thing, I'm trying to get the wording of this thing that came from the guy who led the Turkish forces, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, and he's responsible for modern Turkey. And this thing, which apparently he didn't actually say. For years it was attributed to him, but more recently people have said maybe he never said it. But this was the leader of Turkey. And again, the invading Anzac and British forces, they were the invaders, but there was afterwards there's a respect between the forces. And this was the words that were attributed to Ataturk. Those heroes that shed their blood and lost their lives. You are now lying in the soil of a friendly country. Therefore, rest in peace. There is no difference between the Johnnies and the Mehmets to us, where they lie side by side here in this country of ours. You, the mothers who sent their sons from faraway countries, wipe away your tears. Your sons are now lying in our bosom and are in peace. Having lost their lives in this land, they've become our sons as well. I can't read that without choking up. That is just incredible to me. It's just, and because it's fucked, and it's because the Anzacs, the Brits, they were invaders. The Turks had every right to afterwards just think, you know what, fuck you guys. But there ended up being this mutual respect, and I've been familiar with that quote for years. I can't read it without choking up. It's so intense.
I want to agree with Safa telling Justin that all war is a complete waste, because all war is like you're starting something to end up with how it began in the first place. Like, it was peaceful, and you decided just to kill a bunch of people so it could end up peaceful. What was the point in the killing all the people?
Yeah. There was a great speech from Doctor Who that oh god, my brain has blanked. The recent Doctor Who, the older guy, but he did a thing where it was a war, aliens versus humans, and he's trying to get them to have peace talks, and they don't want to. And he says, but that's where we always end up, no matter how it starts. And you don't know who's going to die. Thank you, Safa. Peter Capaldi. Yes, it always ends up. You sit down to talk about how to have peace. So for fuck's sake, sit down and talk about how to have peace. So you're getting some fresh air now, Micro.
Oh, me? Yeah, no, I have to, I gotta do my daily stuff, so.
Get some fresh air.
Yeah. And Justin says World War I had no purpose. Kind of, I got a point there. It didn't really have any real purpose to it.
It is one of the worst ones. World War I is one of the worst ones. It was literally just colonial powers in Europe slaughtering millions of young men for no fucking reason.
And just the way they fought seems terrifying. You're literally just hiding in a hole, more or less, for days until they tell you, go run across that open land and hope you don't get shot making it into the next hole.
Yeah.
Oh, also, you better hope there's no gas in the next hole.
Yes. Oh my God, the gas they used was just horrific. But yes, all war is pointless, but Jesus Christ, World War I was a particularly bad one.
They legalized recreational marijuana like a year or two ago, and now my government is a step away from decriminalizing it federally.
Oh, nice. So it's all legit, is what
it's almost saying. It's almost gonna be just fully like beer, more or less. They're not gonna care anymore, which is like, I never thought I'd see that in my lifetime. Honestly, I never thought my state would legalize it because it's such a serious nanny state.
Yeah. I reckon we're probably somewhere between 5 and 10 years behind you. We currently have experimental trials of medicinal marijuana happening. And you know what happened in the US? It started off being medicinal and it was legit medicinal. And then it was like nudge, wink medicinal. You could just go to a dodgy doctor who'd give you a prescription.
Yeah, you go to a doctor and be like, oh, my eye hurts when I go like this sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, here you go.
Yeah. And because it became such a joke, more and more states just went, no, we're sick of pretending. We're just legalizing it.
Safa, alcohol is 21 across the country, and any state that has legal recreational marijuana, it is also 21 to consume that.
Yeah. So I honestly reckon we're 5 or 10 years behind you. We've just started the medicinal marijuana trials, and then I think it'll progressively go to, Jesus, for fuck's sake, just make it legal.
When your government realizes how much money they could actually make off of it, they're gonna be like, oh wait, whoa,
Taxes.
We don't care.
Taxes. So it's ridiculous. And the fact that, I sit here making cocktails and stuff, and I will freely admit alcohol is a serious social problem and it's a serious health problem. Marijuana is a far lesser damaging thing than marijuana. But I love that, Kirsten. If Albanese City legalized it, he'd win in a landslide. Probably.
Safa, the only thing that is 18 in some states is buying tobacco products, but some states has raised the age to buy cigarettes and stuff to 21. Because like their high school friends were buying it for them, and then the parents like to put the blame on anyone but themselves.
Yeah. I know New Zealand moved to the first steps to basically making tobacco illegal. They basically said, as of this date, if you're born after this date, you will never be able to legally buy tobacco. Because, of course, once people can legally buy tobacco, they end up getting addicted to it. So it's ridiculous to ban it. But they're saying that, like, okay, anyone who's already smoking can keep smoking, but people born after a certain date, it will never be legal for them to smoke tobacco. And, of course, why would you start? If it was difficult to get tobacco, which doesn't get you high and doesn't get you drunk, why would you start?
It's curiosity, interest. It looks cool in movies. That's why I started.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And also, you hear like, oh, the cigarette makes me feel so less stressed. That makes you curious.
Yeah, but I don't know whether that experiment will work. I just don't know whether it will work, but I don't know, it'll be interesting. Anywho, I'm gonna go to bed. It's 10 o'clock. And I survived today. Had a big night last night. Gonna go to Betty Buys now. So thanks for coming.
You have a good night. Of course.
Always good to see you. Have a good day.
You too. You sleep well.
I plan to.
I'm gonna go figure out. I don't know what I'm gonna do today.
Oh, something.
I don't know. I'm probably gonna go buy more gibbets. I've been wasting a lot of money on those. So, all right.
Yeah.
Good night, chat.
I won't be on tomorrow. I'll probably be on Tuesday. Don't know what I'm going to be watching, Safa, but we'll see you all later.
What time do you start? Because it's 6 a.m. here when you start.
Yeah, which is 8 p.m. my time.
Okay. All right.
I normally do 8 to 10 p.m.
All right.
So, alrighty. See you all later.